Peace, beautiful family. This is King Messiah. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hey, besides, it's free. Now, today, we're talking about Fat Joe. It appears he has been booed. He was doing a show in Chicago, and the crowd just wasn't feeling him.
So there is this footage.
You don't. Now, this new perception of Fat Joe started just a few weeks ago when he went on Matt Hopper's My Expert Opinion podcast. And during the episode, Fat Joe spoke on the origins of hip hop, offered some criticism about FBA, which stands for Foundational Black American. Now, if you don't know, FBA is an identity, and I'm getting this directly from an article, so these ain't my words, this is the article's words. It says FBA is an identity embraced by black individuals who can trace their lineage to pre-Civil War America or are direct descendants of enslaved Africans, right? It's a pretty simple definition. However, the comments that Fat Joe made about FBA have pretty much drawn widespread attention and polarized reaction. Here is what he said during that episode. Oh, yeah, as you can hear in that clip, he called the FBA radical black racist, broke black racist, and said that they criticize anyone who ain't black American and use social media sites to attack others. This immediately led to backlash, with people posting things like this right here that says what Fat Joe said was disgusting. You can't say black Americans are racist or all FBA are racist because we want everyone to respect the fact that hip-hop was birthed by black Americans before spreading to our Caribbean and Latino brothers and sisters. This is like ignoring that jazz was created by black Americans before we get Cuban or Japanese jazz. I love Cuban and Japanese jazz, but it was created here in the US by black Americans, and we should all respect that. I don't understand the animosity. You have eaten well off of us broke black Americans, Joey. And a lot of that tweet right there is centered around the fact that for years now, Fat Joe has been pushing a narrative that because hip-hop was born in New York, that Latinos played a crucial role in the development of it. That's Fat Joe's stance on it. So he feels like he is just as much a part of the culture as anybody else. And throughout the years, we have seen him blatantly show the way that he feels. A good example of this is Fat Joe's use of the N-word in music and interviews and just regular conversations, right? He drops the N-bomb a lot. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with that because for years, Fat Joe has gotten away with it. But over the last decade or so, we have really seen a push towards people not accepting non-black people saying that word. It's highly offensive. However, Fat Joe isn't one of those people that seen it that way. He's seen it like I've been saying it my whole life, and I'm gonna continue to say it. And there are several examples of that around the internet. Well, goddamn, Fat Joe been doubling down on this for a long time. Now, the reason why he himself claims that he feels comfortable doing it is because he's from Latino heritage. Again, he believes that Latinos played a role in the development of hip hop, so he believes that he gets a free pass. However, people have started looking up Fat Joe's records, and an interesting thing that they found is when you look at his arrest records, his race is listed as white. They pulled up one of Fat Joe's childhood pictures where he looks very much like a white kid. And so the general consensus online pretty much from everybody has been, yeah, we not rocking with this behavior right here no more, Fat Joe. You need to cut it out. Fat Joe was out here dropping the N-word like he had a lifetime membership to the culture. But last night, Chicago told him that his subscription was officially canceled. He thought he had a pass, but last night at the club, they told him, nah, that card that you playing, it's been declined. There was so many boos going on, I thought it was a haunted house in there. Now, I'm not
There
sure.
you have it. You know, I think Fat Joe truly miscalculated the power of foundational black Americans. You know, it all started with that interview. You know, his legacy was pretty much in the bag. All he had to do was continue to make his sing-along raps and people would have continued to support him. But he made his racism known by making those derogatory terms. You know, let's look at the bad luck, the downward spiral that Fat Joe has been having. You know, he first got booted off the BET Awards off of hosting. He said he stepped down, but we all know that BET said, hey, you're bad for business. You're going to plummet our ratings. So Fat Joe is no longer hosting the BET Awards. There was also a petition that's going around to say, hey, we don't want Fat Joe. They want Fat Joe's sponsors to pull away from his brand. Also, Fat Joe has an album that's coming out. People are saying that album is going to flop. and it's looking like that album is going to flop. Lord Jamar put out a call to boycott Fat Joe's up and coming album, and let the Latin American community, let the Latinos and the Spanish people support Fat Joe. But the reality of it is, Fat Joe, his base is black Americans, and to disrespect your base, it's like shooting yourself in the foot. Fat Joe made a huge mistake. He tarnished his legacy by saying those words. And if he was a real man, if he had a real PR, they would have said, make a public apology. But that goes against his gangster image. Fat Joe makes a public apology to black Americans. It goes against the gangster image. Now, Cuban Links has been trying to warn us for years that Fat Joe has some shady practices. The way Fat Joe dealt with Big Pun, and the Big Pun's family don't even rock with Fat Joe. Cuban Links has been trying to warn the world that Fat Joe is racist. I think it's important to note that Fat Joe is not who he portrays himself to be. And him getting booed on stage is just the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to continue to go downhill for Fat Joe, because if you don't have respect for the people who allowed you to thrive and prosper in their genre of music, I don't think anything good can come out of it. What are your thoughts on this entire topic? I want you to leave it in the comment section. Look at the entire playlist that we have pertaining to Fat Joe, Black Americans, and so forth. We're going to continue to put out great content, and we appreciate you to continue to support. All right. At the end of the day, we have to delineate. Every urban city, inner city where black Americans are at, they're going to remember what Fat Joe said. They're going to remember his sentiment, and they're going to make him lean way back. I mean, I heard Fat Joe had to lean back off the stage. What I will admit, through the booing, he tried to perform. Through all the boos, he still tried to perform. I think any other artist would have walked away, but I think he had to save face. It was too embarrassing to walk away, so he had to pretend he did not hear the boos. But it went viral. Everyone is talking about it, and I want to know, what do you think about it? This is King Messiah. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. 90% of you who watch our videos aren't subscribed. Let's change the algorithm. Let's change the narrative. Hey, much love to everybody who truly supports and watch the videos. I can't thank you enough. Peace.